What's going on, guys? Welcome to Left Lane Coatings. I started a powder coating company right here in Lancaster on Loop Road, and it's conjoined with Accelerate Auto. Arguably, I've kept the left side, my left side, a complete secret from you guys for the last 9 months. It was not easy to do, and today I'm giving you a grand tour, and I'm going to explain to you why I decided to open Left Lane Coatings in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So like 9 months of work, sleepless hours in the making is finally debuted to the world, and I'm gonna show you guys everything that I've been working on. All right, now past tiers employees only, but you guys are all VIP, so come on in. So Accelerate Auto and I don't have any ownership in sharing or anything. That's still Brody's business and will always be Brody's business, but Left Lane Coatings has been hidden behind the door down there, which I'm gonna take you guys behind here shortly. So I wanted to build something that I can get involved with you guys at the ground level, but I didn't want to get into custom truck builds, mostly because these trucks here behind us, like DDG30, they take 150 hours to build. Just the wraps alone can lead upward to 80 to 100 hours. And I really don't have any more of that time in the week. Plus, I feel like these truck builds for enthusiasts, I love them. And it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And I really like creating and sculpting something out of my mind with my small team for you guys through the brand. So when I looked across Lancaster, we've got this incredible entourage of Peach Bottom Auto Body for painting, Accelerate Auto for all the service they offer here. We were just missing a powder coater. But that statement no longer holds true because Left Lane Coatings, ladies and gentlemen, is right behind that door. And now speaking of, Dream Diesel giveaway number 30 actually ends in just a few days on February 5th, and 23 times entries, the max entry multiplier is back until the deadline if you guys want to get in for a chance to take that thing home. Let's go. I've waited so long for this very moment right now. Feel the war is back now. All right, so I say to you guys all the time that ideas are great, but you need to act on them, and this is the byproduct of my actions over the last 9 months. Now, before we get into the process, I'm gonna kind of take you through where all the perfection comes from, especially the prep process, which is behind me. Introduce you guys to Deshaun. He's our sprayer. He's taking care of some 24x14s as we speak. A powder coating company is something, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen myself opening until I realized that there was a really big opportunity for it, especially in Lancaster. And to those of you that have been following me for quite an extensive period of time know that I'm passionate about a lot of things. My family, clean truck builds, the automotive community, and the area in which I live. I'm actually not from Lancaster, and it's really cool how being out in this area, especially being so micropreneurial, has given me tons of opportunity through the people that I've met through YouTube. Because I started YouTube for one reason, and that was to connect with like-minded people, and now we're here, which just feels so unbelievably surreal. So before we get into all the equipment that I chose to purchase for this process, I got a little story for you guys. So I bought the spray gun for powder coating over 2 years ago, and my initial intent was to actually open the powder coat business, Left Lane Coatings, in that 40x40 pole building that we had made a ton of videos in and did a bunch of our Dream Diesel giveaway builds in. Come to find out, it wasn't suited for the location. There was a bunch of other kind of red tape that was up. So I'd approached Brody one day as we were talking about a tint job or a wrap job or something along the lines of one of my previous vehicles. And I said, I want to open a powder coat business, but I can't do it because of the location. So if the right location falls in my lap, it's going to be totally meant to be. A year and a half later, he calls me and says, dude, I got that location for you if you still want to make it happen, and here we are today. So when I was kind of envisioning the build, as I do with my trucks, I had this decision to make, and that was, do I buy kind of entry-level components to get started, or do I buy the best in the game like I do with all of our giveaway trucks? Well, the decision was kind of obvious. I bought the best in the game, because if you go to do a job with the incorrect tool, what is the result? It's not a satisfactory job. In manufacturing, the tools are a huge component in the overall quality, and we put the best quality into our trucks. I put the best quality in everything that I do, and I wasn't going to let this be that exception. All right, so you guys get that equipment is key, so I made investments to ensure that the preparation was the priority, because Perfection is really in the prep. The powder coat process that's happening in that booth right now is the sexy, satisfying part where we take a boring looking component and make it colorful, but it won't work well at all if you don't prep the product accordingly. So we actually use a green solve stripping solution. This is a strip tank that can fit a full set of 24x14s and up to 6 wheels that are around 20 inches. This tank heats up to 185 degrees and will actually strip off pre-existing paint and powder coat from wheels that sets us up for the next process. Once it spends about 2 hours in what I like to call bath time, it comes over to the wash tub where we actually wash off all of the previous coating and then we get it ready for the next step. So does this thing look familiar to you guys? This is actually the sandblasting cabinet that sat in the background of my videos for quite some time as we were preparing for all of this to take place. Now, sandblasting is a fundamental element in powder coating because it's kind of like the Velcro effect. Basically, you give the part a profile and it creates the hook on the Velcro, and then the powder connects to that Velcro. When it flows together, it creates a very stiff bond. So our sandblasting is a crucial element, and it's actually about to see a big evolution because I've got some sandblasting mods in store, but we're gonna have to talk about those some other time. So I'd like to call this area our little preparation station. We got a cool little workbench to order powders, maintain our accurate inventory levels, and we get into some cool little plugs, we get into masks, and we get into other stuff that allow us to block off powder from going into areas that we don't want it, such as threaded inserts. If you add powder into threaded inserts, it's an absolute nightmare when you're going to install things. Ask me how I should know. We also have high temp tape here so we can mask off specific areas of parts, such as the hub of this motorcycle wheel. Anything that's machined, you don't want to actually powder coat over because likely it was machined to a very specific machine tolerance for some other mechanical component. And that's actually what's happening right here with these wheels that are gonna get powder coated Illusion Blueberry. And then the best part is taking something that is a factory finish and making it ultra unique. The booth. This is like my dream build booth. I wanted to create something unique, and I'd like to say that this is kind of like my MTV Cribs moment where I can say the magic really actually happens here, and that's where we essentially take the industry standard Gima gun and we electrostatically breathe life into the part. So it essentially negatively charges powder molecules in the air, and the part is grounded through these racks here behind me, which allows for the bonding action to occur, AKA why the prep process is so important. So the booth is 10 foot wide by 10 foot tall by 16 foot long. The racks behind us are actually 8 foot long, 7 foot tall, and they allow us to equip a whole bunch of parts on there depending on the color that we're spraying. Now, right now, we're actually working on a set of 24x14s that came in and needed a whole bunch of new life. They were curbed up, they were damaged, they had a whole bunch of stuff to them, but no bends. We do not fix bent wheels, but we can sand out some of the imperfections, curb rashes, whatever. And we are going with a double gloss black. It's gonna look almost wet when it's done. And then we're actually gonna spray all the windows, what's called like an aluminum silver. It almost mirrors what's like the machined look from the factory, so we can replicate that look without the whole machining component, a little trick of the trade. And then after the part gets electrified, it actually gets totally baked. We've got a pretty big oven. This one's 8 foot wide by 8 foot tall by 14 foot long. We open this thing up. This is where the whole curing process takes place. This thing gets up to 400 plus degrees. We could actually heat it up to 650 degrees if we need to bake off any existing coatings. The strip tank does a good job at that for us though. Parts chill in here for upwards of about 10 minutes. They get to 400 degrees. The powder actually flows out and creates that nice smooth finish that we have all grown to love in powder coating. We pull them out, we let them cool, and we're done. We got to escape the compressor, but what I wanted to let you guys know is we can also do other parts. For those of you local in Lancaster, if you have some powder coating needs and they're not specifically automotive, we got your back. All right, guys, so we're gonna end this video where it began in wrapping up what was essentially a whole year's worth of work, but it really started almost 2 years ago. And now, to this day, standing with DDG30, my Denali, and this incredible building behind me where Accelerate Auto and Left Lane Coatings have essentially conjoined forces To create the enthusiast mecca here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania is so unbelievably humbling. It's kind of crazy to feel like this video is even being made. When I got to this point, it's like, wow, I can't believe the day has finally come, because there's been so much work that's essentially been taking place on the back end just to kind of get this whole thing started. There's one thing that I want you guys to know about me, and it's, yes, I absolutely love building trucks, but I also have an engineering background and I love manufacturing. The whole idea of actually having a manufacturing business and improving processes is something that I'm also passionate about. And I've also got some other projects in the works that you guys are likely to hear about later this year. So thank you all for watching. As always, if you're from Lancaster or the surrounding counties, come on down. We'd love to help you guys out. We've got an awesome, super knowledgeable staff here that's ready to help you in any project that you might have. If you have anything that you want to ship to us, we will be working on an LTL program, like a less than truckload program, for you guys to ship your parts out. We can code them up for you and then send them back. And then if you choose to stop by for anything that we have to offer here, we do have some very exclusive limited left lane coatings enthusiast collaborative merchandise, and we can also grab your entries for any one of our giveaway trucks depending on which one we're in at the time. The deadline for that truck right there and $30,000 cash is February 5th. So if you guys want to get your last minute entries, Procrastination Nation, now's your time. The Max Entry Multiplier is live. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon.